Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another Unreal Engine 5 Obby tutorial, and we're going to be looking at a checkpoint system. So in our last episode, we had it to whenever we fell off or got hit, we would die, and it would respawn us at one given location that we just used to test. So now we want to make it so whenever we reach one of these checkpoints, it will save our position and we will load there. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So if I get out of our world here, we can go ahead and go to our content drawer, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to our blueprint folder and right click and add a new blueprint class of type actor, and we're going to name this BP checkpoint. Let's open this up, and we're going to add a new static mesh. Name this checkpoint board. Now I went ahead and I found this thing over here. This is actually a board that was just part of the pack I saw laying around, and I want to use this as our checkpoint base. So whenever you step on this, it will load. You can use a plane or whatever, or doorway, it doesn't matter, but I'm going to go ahead and in this world I have this selected. If I shift right click down here in the details panel and then go to our static mesh that we just added and shift left click, it will copy and paste this over, or you can right click and copy and paste that way. So whenever we have our mesh, we're going to add a box collision, and let's resize this. So we're going to go back up here in perspective mode. We're going to do top down, and over here in the scale, make sure it's unlocked, and we can adjust the X and the Y value just so that it fits our mesh. And we're going to go back down to front and zoom in here. Let's go ahead and make it so that this is not too big, but big enough. And then there we are. Let's go back to perspective, and in here, that looks good. Whenever we step on this, we want it to load. So right now, we want to make it so that whenever we step on this box collision, it saves this as the last checkpoint. So we're going to go into our box collision, hit add event on begin overlap. Okay, so inside of our box collision, we're going to want to go ahead and drag from other actor and cast to BP third person character. All right, we're going to compile this, and now we need to, I guess, call this. So if we go over to our BP third person game mode, open this up, we're going to add a new variable, and this is going to be called last checkpoint. And we're going to go ahead and search our BP underscore checkpoint that we just made and call this object reference. This is the same as what we just made here. So we're just calling this, and then we're going to compile it. Let's go ahead back to our checkpoint and our event graph, and we're going to get cast to BP underscore third person game mode, and object is going to be get game mode. Now we can go ahead and search our set last checkpoint. So what this is going to do is basically whenever we step on it, it's going to save that current box collision that we just landed on as the last checkpoint. So from our last checkpoint, we're just going to get a reference to self, and we're going to compile and save this. And in our spaceship here, let's go ahead and drag one of these into the world. Go to our blueprints folder, drag this out, make sure that's the right size and the box is on there. Let's go ahead and set it that whenever we do step on it, that it plays a sound. So play sound 2D. Let's go ahead. Yeah, we'll just do the camera stutter for now. Sure. Play this. Now whenever we step on this, we know that it's triggering. Okay. Now that we have our blueprint here, we're going to want to go ahead and add, or go to our blueprint, and we're going to go to our viewport. Let's add a skeletal mesh to the top here, and let's go ahead and select something like Manny, just the default one, and we're going to move him upwards. And the first thing we're going to do is look up here and type hidden. So hidden in game, we want to put true so that we don't see this. But what this is going to let us do is control the position that our character is facing whenever we respawn. So if we compile this and save, we're going to go ahead and rename this also to respawn character, and compile this again. And whenever we go to our third person character, we're going to go to, this is our code that we made in our last episode, where whenever we get destroyed, we'll respawn at a given location. We're going to delete this. So delete, delete, delete. Okay. So now out of our our third person game mode, we're going to call our get last checkpoint. And then from our last checkpoint, we're going to get respawn, get respawn character. We want his transformation. Get relative transform. Okay, we want get world transform, respawn character. So that's what we want. Let's go ahead and drag this. So now we're going to, we could plug this right in, but here's also another thing. If we go ahead and right click this node here and we split the struct and we do the same up here, now we have access to the location, the rotation, and the scale. The only things we want to mess with is the location and the rotation. So if we compile this and then we go to our level, once we go over this checkpoint, we clear, and then we press 1 and we die. We're not going to respawn. Okay, so let's see here. So if we go to our third person character, this isn't connected. So if I move this event destroyed up, we're going to compile this again. Let's try it out. So if we go ahead and go to our checkpoint and die here, now we're back at our checkpoint. Okay, great. So let's test this out some more. Okay, so here I'm going to go ahead and drag our blueprint out into our world and go ahead and drag a few more out. Let's make sure everything's working correctly. And let's go ahead and hit play. There's our sound. Let's go ahead and get hit by the hammer. And there we are. Let's go ahead and try and make it to the next checkpoint. Make sure everything is working correctly. Okay. And here we are at our next checkpoint. So there we have it. Everything seems to be working fine. So now you have really all you need to start making your very own Obby course here. Just a simple checkpoint system, kind of a death respawn system. Just mess around with some of the basic skills. You can have a really neat game here. All right, I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.